LFL Hot Wheels collectors. This is a bit of a different video. This is basically Racegrooves got nominated by someone ages ago for doing his top 5 fantasy models, and rather than saying who he was going to nominate, he actually put them in the comments. Appears that I was in his top 5 nominations. Unfortunately, I don't really go for the fantasy models. It's purely because they just make so many, and also as well, as you can probably tell, all of this lot is all mixture of Hot Wheels, Majoretti, Matchbox, Suzuki. I think there's a couple of Mesos in there, but again, it's all pretty much buried. I mean, it's the same just up where these cassettes are. There's more boxes up there of them. Carded wise, the metal cases over here, again, not many fantasy models. I think it's just because they produce so many of the same car that I just get bored, and it's like I said, oh, that's the 18th one of that I found. Oh, that's the 16th version of that I found. Oh, I already have that version. Whoops. Anyway, apologies for the noise. My neighbour is mowing his lawn. He's a sad git, don't blame him. Anyway, first of all, we shall go with Tread Air. It's my first fantasy model. Now, unfortunately, they've only made like about 3 or 4 of these. I think the 4th one is the Treasure Hunt. So, I mean, really thin line picking on this, but I really like it. Also has a code underneath of D08. Not D80, it's D08. Pretty cool model. I do like that one. So that's my first fantasy model. Most of these are Hot Wheels. Again, I have one Matchbox. I'm not sure if it is fantasy or not. Next up is the original Vader. Not the new Vader, the original Invader. And the reason? It has a working command. Now, unfortunately, this is a bit flick sensitive, so... well, it sometimes works. Come on. You have to pull it a little bit. That's it. You have to have it just about there, and then push, and it fires. Cool is that. That was a real cool feature back in the day, and this came out in 2007, and they had variations where sometimes it would have the missile, sometimes it wouldn't. Again, I think choking hazard mostly on that. It's now changed, it's 4 wheels instead of 6. The thingy on top has long since gone, because again, that means they don't have to put the choking hazard in 3 different languages. So, again. Next up we have a Matchbox, which is the Hot Rod Dragster. This is my only fantasy Matchbox I could find at the time. I say, the grey boxes that are just here, these are the ones I went for because they're easy to access. But yeah, this one I think is a fantasy model because it looks like a car from what the people in the 1950s thought we would be doing in a couple of years. You know, we'd have rockets going to the moon. We'd need cars that could fly and float around the atmosphere. And that's why it's got a bubble dome. Also has a massive engine at the front. E-type Jaguar front end, which is very nice indeed. Overall, a very nice car. I do like the fantasy models from Matchbox. Mostly they vary. Most of the previous stuff before 2003 was a lot of real type cars with the odd fantasy model just chucked in just because they needed to. But after about 2003, I've been told by a lot of Americans that a lot of people stopped collecting the Matchbox because after 2003 there were a lot more fantasy models than there were real models. But again, now they're more mixing it up than anything else. Next, my 4th car, fantasy wise, it's the Fished and Chipped. I think this is a fancy model, even though it looks like it's based on the Mark 10 Jaguar, which is a beautiful big car. I think it is a fancy model. This one, of course, is from the blind bags a few years ago that I found in Poundland. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous paintwork. There was another one of these with I think black flat paint or black shiny paint like this. It was absolutely gorgeous. I really love that one, but couldn't find it. I think blind bags will not come back to Poundland Hot Wheels wise. They brought far too many and they were sitting around for ages. I brought 2 sets, one of which I managed to sell at the car boot sale. Sadly lost £2, but again, I tried to sell it for some other places, but unfortunately it failed. Anyway, the final fantasy model is this rather cool colour changer Silver Bullet 9/7. Depends which variation, but this is a colour changer. Proper old school colour changer. No longer works unless I probably stick it in hot water or cold water. But either way, this is a really cool fancy model. This was one of my first proper, like, remembering playing with toys. I remember this one because it was so sleek like. I thought I could easily lift that down, use it to go up. I used to play Robot Wars sort of like a lot with the toy cars. But again, I do have quite a fair few of these. Most of them are, I think, in these Ferrero Rocher boxes, which I use to display my more mintier ones or rarer models, because somewhere in one of those is a Super Treasure Hunt loose, which I found rather rare in mint condition. But yeah, rather cool model, very nice indeed. This one surprisingly doesn't have any name on the bottom of it. Where that little square is, usually it has the name, but it doesn't. Either way, really cool thing. For this, I'm not going to nominate the 5 people, mainly because I don't know that many, and also as well the fact that most of them have pretty much gone. I mean, I haven't heard anything for Benjamin Drake. Fireflash is pretty much more not really doing them anymore. What For has far too much to go for. I like his channel anyway because he has some awesome old stuff. Racegrooves has already done his, so no need to renominate him. DCTV Light. I can't call them DCTV, it's Light. I've gone off their channel. I prefer it when they did like a long episode rather than short stuff. Again, admittedly, even if it was the same stuff like, oh, we didn't find anything in store, we did find this, here's some footage, it was cool, but now it's not as good as it used to be. Crackerjack70, I haven't heard from you in ages, and I'm really hoping that YouTube hasn't completely destroyed you, because you were really nice. Some really good stuff. I mean, you had some good metal, good, like, proper castings, even though you would crack them open because it's like, no, don't do that, they're rare, I've never seen one before. But again, because you're in America, it's probably like there's about 7 or 8 on eBay for various prices. But in the UK, that's rare, don't open it. Let's try to think of the other ones. I think there's a couple of others that I've subscribed to, but again, I think I just subscribe just to get information on the older models from the older videos. But either way, like I say, thanks for watching, and like I say, these are of course my 5 fantasy models. How am I going to do this? I know, I have my arm. One there, one there, one there, one there. No, that ain't going to work. Oh well, it was worth a try. But either way, yeah, these are my 5 fantasy models. They're pretty cool. I mean, I like them. So again, thanks for watching. See you next time.